Hey guys, and welcome to CG Market Watch Live. And today we're back in the office, ready to crunch some charts today. And the most exciting thing, I think, of course, is when Ethereum has lost its place against Ripple. Alright, so Ripple has went up a 61%, and that's really substantial. Alright, and we look at the different charts that we have on CoinMarketCap right now. We see Stellar going up 23%, we see Cardano going up 18%, and IOTA, Tron going up almost 12%. And it starts to dawn on me that even Quantum went up 18%, Ontology 13%. And it kind of dawned on me that, hey, you know, could it be time for the odds to start running? Is it time that the bullishness of the market has returned? And we see Bitcoin dominance going to 51.8%. Now, if you recall, just 2 days ago when I was back in Bali, the percentage was about 55.8%, so it has dipped by about 4%. That's quite substantial, and you can see this percentage of Bitcoin flowing over to all the different altcoins. And in fact, Ripple, I stand in awe that, you know, Ripple could actually overtake Ethereum. And I know a lot of cryptocurrency traders, we are kind of slightly against Ripple now for whatever reasons, but I think it's worth to cover and just talk a little bit about it. Alright, so what I've done is I prepared a few charts, okay, to just talk very quickly about it. Now, of course, when I was talking about BTC on Wednesday, 2 days back, I was talking about a breakout above the Kumo cloud, okay, and it did. So the only kind of opportunity or way for BTC to really kind of break out of the cloud was for it to dip first. So therefore, you kind of see the initial dip right here, right, and then followed by the upside movement breaking out of the cloud. And therefore you see this particular movement moving up right here. Okay, so you could explain it in many different chart patterns in a different way. You can say it's a rising wedge, it's an ascending wedge, there was a symmetrical triangle, it broke down, and then there's a rising channel, and then you could explain that this particular candle here was a spinning top. You know, there's so many different ways to kind of explain it. Okay, but my personal point of view from just the 4 hours chart is that we are above the waters, right? We are above EMA 200, so that's a pretty good sign. We do see a reversal candle coming in right now. It's much required, seeing that how BTC has actually moved up with so many candles. It's more like a 4 green soldiers kind of formation right here. RSI, of course, is definitely oversold. Okay, overbought, and also OBV is also taking a break from the impending volume. Okay, now of course where we are looking at is where the resistance will be. Okay, so I personally am looking at this particular range between the clouds. They're of course 6,818 between that and 7,128. So this is the resistance range we should be looking at. So now that we are broke above 200 EMA, the next point we should be looking at is when the golden cross happens, which is when EMA 50 moves up against EMA 200, and therefore that kind of certify that we are in a bullishness. Okay, we are in a bullish times. Okay, so that's what I need to pay attention to. Now, the other thing we need to look at is on the daily chart. Is that we have a diagonal trend line. So what you can see is that we have been going through the same kind of formation. We hardly form a higher high, if you realized, right? So it has been on a higher low, 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 low in that sense. So we've been forming many lows for a very long period of time, extended period of time. In fact, it's from starting of this year in February, where we started forming new lows and new lows. There wasn't enough, or there wasn't a new high form. And therefore, this diagonal trend line becomes strengthened in that sense. It's a whole year chart of downward movement, and that's on daily. So we really need to look into the levels that we can see from the daily chart. All right, so this will be more or less available. My detailed analysis will only be available for our elite members, okay, which I'll be covering for them later. Now let's talk about Ethereum wise then. Okay, so Ethereum has kind of been, defeated by Ripple temporarily. Okay, so Ethereum's price wise movement, like I say, it's trading above the cloud. That's a good sign, but we see many uncertain candles here. Right, so there's a spinning top here, there's also a spinning top here, and all this kind of signifies uncertainty. No one knows where Ethereum is going. Okay, and therefore you see that being expected on the price itself. Movement of Ethereum is only about 7.93%, which is very small. It's about, say 12% of Ripple's growth in that sense. And this is just on 24 hours. It did grow even more substantially in previous days. So if we were just to sum it up, it went up by close to 100% almost. Okay, so Ethereum, well, RSI haven't even hit overbought. Okay, so the volume is picking up, yes, but we're just kind of sustaining below the overbought level. So comparing BTC level, where we kind of break out above the overbought level for RSI, and Ethereum wise, we are kind of not seeing more movement from Ethereum. And therefore, potential breakout or resistance level we're looking at, it's really between the range of $230 to about $243. Okay, now last of all, we should see the superstar, right? Ripple. So practically it went through a golden cross here, right? So for those who don't know what's a golden cross, you could just Google it. It's between the relationship between the 50 moving average and the 200 moving average, okay, based on period. So when you Google that, you understand what it is. But basically, this actually meant that we are really in a very huge bullish trend. In fact, from what I realized is that a lot of people started shorting Ripple at close to this point, right? Where people feel that, hey, this is a parabolic movement. It's all too familiar in the cryptocurrency realm or space. So it's very, very familiar. So all we want to do is just take some profit. And next thing you know, Ripple goes through that 60% upside. So I wouldn't say it's uncommon for Ripple to do so. And yet again, Ripple has went to about $3 before, or I think stay shy away from $5, but $3 is definite. There were people who said that Ripple will go to I remember people saying it will go to $10. I had a great laugh there, but we'll see where Ripple really can go. But basically what you can see is that the movement here, it's pretty substantial. We're just looking at daily candles. We're talking about the last 3 days movement, and we're just using price range right here. It's almost 126% movement in just 3 days, and based on current candle movement, it's about 115% movement upside. All right, so guys, if anyone is really right now on Ripple, you could comment below, but at the same time, do remember to take profit as well. We are heavily overbought on daily chart. Okay, and that doesn't look pleasant at all. So guys, remember, anything that's parabolic in cryptocurrency, it's a point where you need to take some profit. Okay, so you hear it from us first. All right, so that is all from me. I'll be updating some of the new prices or resistance and support to look at in the Elite and Legacy group. So guys, Elite group for CG, it's open up. We only have about 50 seats available, and we're gonna just focus on that group and growing that group for the next quarter. We will not be opening up any more slots. The next opening for the next group will only begin in 2019. All right, so guys, do sign up in the link below, and we'll catch you in the next episode.